Good day. This is Cast Iron ASMR. I had a request to take a look at some Harley Quinn comic books. I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. I got some Harley Quinn comic books. And in fact, I was going through my comics and I found this one I had totally forgot about with Lobo, the main man, who appears in the fabulous Supergirl movie. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll take a look at this one. But then I went looking through, so this is Harley, Little Black Book, featuring Lobo. This is issue number 6. Look at that cover price. $4.99 US. But I thought, maybe not this one. Here's issue 1 with Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. Harley. Yeah, that's Wonder Woman. Looks like Harley Quinn is playing a trick on the Amazon. She's got her kind of wrapped loosely in her magic lasso. She probably said, okay, I want to wear your outfit, your costume, and I want you to wear mine. Now this would be a really good one to look at as well. But when you're going to do an overview of a character, I thought, okay, I got this one here with Lobo, the Wonder Woman. I thought that was going to be it. But then I was like, hey, here we've got Harley Quinn with Poison Ivy meeting Betty and Veronica. Look, they don't look too happy. Look at Harley, Poison Ivy, because they got 3 on a soda, but neither of those ladies are from Riverdale. I think they're from Gotham. This is issue 1 of this miniseries. But we've been looking at a lot of Betty and Veronica and Archie Comics lately, so then I thought, what about Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo Team Up. Here's one, issue number 21. There's a much more reasonable cover price, $2.99 US. So in this team up, featuring Harley Quinn, Mystery Inc. But this is the second appearance. So let's go to her first appearance in Scooby-Doo. Team Up. This is what we'll be looking at. I just reread this right now. Scooby. Team Up. Featuring the Gotham Girls. So Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. There's our intrepid heroes. Right way. Shaggy and Scooby. So this is issue number 12. This is a well-read copy. I just read it again. And then I noticed, it's all pretty good. You almost might not notice, but in the second page, there's some repair work take a look-see. This is it's dated November 2015. So they're up on a rooftop. The gang. Mystery Incorporated. Scooby guys, the Scooby Gang. This is a great series. The team-up comics. So I thought this would be a great place to start. To look at Harley Quinn. This was published by DC Comics. So they could team up with anyone from the DC universe or Hanna-Barbera, because the DC owns the Hanna-Barbera. I don't know if Warner Brothers do, but they have well, yeah, because Scooby-Doo. So the gang is up on a rooftop in Gotham City. Here I go, there's the bat symbol. Looks a little different though, I don't know. Are you sure we're supposed to meet here at night on a rooftop? Actually, Fred, I read an article that said most meetings in Gotham City are held on rooftops. Usually near gargoyles. Shaggy. But I'm scared of heights. And gargoyles. And meetings too. And Daphne says, this is where Batman said to meet him. Velma counters. Batman? I thought the message wasn't signed. It wasn't Velma, but who else would want to meet us on a rooftop in Gotham City? That makes sense, except for the cover says it's about the Gotham girls. Dun dun dun. This story is titled Gotham Ghouls. Fred, that's not Batman or Robin. It's called Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. There they are. So this is neat because Harley Quinn debuted in the Batman animated series, the cartoon, the Batman cartoon, which was the first new superhero cartoon since back in the day when this came out. It was the first one in a long time. And it did very well. And the character Harley Quinn became so popular that she crossed over into the comic books, because she didn't originate in the comic books. She looked more like this. Well, she looked exactly like this. They do their research. And Poison Ivy looked like that. And that scares the gang. Jinkies, supervillains, outlaws, bandits, criminals, help! This is why I'm scared of meetings. So that's pretty funny. Even though Harley Quinn is a villain, she's nice and funny. And if it's gonna be in a Scooby comic, it's not gonna be too scary. So they're all going to run away. But Poison Ivy uses her plants to catch them. Look, they're all being suspended we don't want to hurt you. What are you doing running? She has a good joke there. Nobody can hold a civil conversation anymore. I blame texting. So Harley Quinn admits it was them. We sent for you guys because we need your help. You contacted us. Fred's like, you guys are crooks. We cook crooks. We catch crooks. But she says, but you also catch ghosts. And we're being haunted. Well, Scooby doesn't like that. We're haunted? Harley seems to think so. So they get let down. Harley Quinn's like, come on inside and we'll tell you all about it. Daphne's like, seriously? You expect us to enter your sinister criminal, she was gonna say, lair. But then she says, apartment? This is kind of nice, actually. Make yourself at home. Shaggy wants some snacks. So they're explaining that hypothetically, like what if they had hypothetically stolen an ancient opal of Osiris a couple weeks ago, and it was cursed. And now every time that they go to rob something, people, places, alarms are going off, guards are there, conga lines, sprinkler systems. It's kind of funny. Look at how happy Poison Ivy looks. She's remembering the sprinklers. That sprinkling was the best watering I've had in ages. So Velma says, well, if you're so concerned and convinced that you're being haunted, why don't you just give it back? Give back the stolen opal of Osiris. Are you crazy? We're supervillains. We steal. We pilfer. We purloin. We don't give back. But then, out of nowhere, there's the ghost, the phantom. Yet if you want to be free of the curse, you will return it to me. Yikes. See, I told you we were being haunted. That's what Harley Quinn says. They're all about to gangway. Run. So, then the ghost vanishes. It's gone. Velma is thinking and says, so quickly and quietly, it's hard to believe anything human could do that. Hello, it's not human, it's a ghost. That's what Harley Quinn's saying. Gotta think about it, they're whispering. That's why the text is a little bit gray instead of dark black. Like, hey, enough chatting, more detecting. This is kind of funny. So they're like looking around. There's Daphne by the thing there. Sure thing, we were just planning strategy. No eye holes cut out of this painting. No one hiding behind these curtains. That's the kind of stuff that, that happens to them. Okay, so that's Harley. They've like looked around for a couple seconds. Okay, you guys looked around, so who done it? Was it old Mr. Crinchley, the creepy lighthouse keeper? It's like, well, in our opinion, we think it might be real ghosts. I knew it. Catch me, Blondie, I may swoon. Poison Ivy's a little smarter. She thinks, you guys just came in, and then for the first time, they saw the ghost. So she thinks they're connected to the ghost. A little like us. Work with ghosts. That's silly. Of course, if there was anyone listening, we sure could use a superhero right now. Why did you say that? They think, when they were whispering, they think that maybe this ghost, who would haunt supervillains, they thought? Well, they think it's the Dark Knight himself, Batman. And then the ghost shows up. Ooh, like I never thought I'd say this to any ghost, but am I glad to see you? He thinks that's Batman. You're glad to see the ghost? And people call me crazy. And look, it's gonna be Shaggy who unmasks the ghost. But this ghost is really the masked manhunter, the Dark Knight detective, the Caped Crusader himself. Batman. Oh, Reggie. Well, that's not Ratman. Not Batman. I wish everyone would stop saying that. It's Catwoman. And this is just like how Catwoman looked in the Batman cartoon. I remember when the Batman cartoon debuted. I was a little old to be waking up and watching. I mean, you can be as old as you want and get up and watch Saturday morning cartoons. But I was staying up late the night before. But it debuted at a more respectable hour. It wasn't first thing in the morning. And I watched the very first one, and it starred Catwoman before it ever aired there. It's when the Wizard magazine came out. I remember reading about this new Batman cartoon. I was so excited. They had some sketches of the characters, so I knew that Catwoman would look like this. Catwoman? I don't get it. Why would Catwoman dress up as a ghost? To skip the bother for an encounter like this. She figured a curse would be an easy way for them to give up the opal. Harley Quinn's like, we stole it fair and square. Like, why would you even want it? Velma knows. The opal of Osiris is a cat's eye opal. Dope. Exactly. She likes to steal things that are cat-like. Like, give it to me. Harley Quinn's like, you'll never find it. I hid it. You mean right there? She put it on the end of her jester's hat. Is that what you call it? How lovely, and it's in this little thing there. I'll give it a good home. There's some good flipping her cattails. It seemed fitting, she thought. Nice try. You might have cattails, but this cat has claws. I'll pound that tabby into kitty litter. Crunch. This was kind of funny. Kitty litter, that's the best you can do. You need to work on your snappy patter, Harley. Snappy patter. I never really heard that, snappy patter. I thought I'd be like snappy banter. So the gang there is like, all right, well, you found out who the ghost is, so we'll just be on our way. But Harley says, no, you can't leave now. The fun's just starting. But we already solved the mystery. But who is this? Oh, really? Then where'd that ghost come from? I'll take that gem. Look closely at the ghost. Did you see the clue? Who is this ghost? Another ghost. But I was the ghost. Now what do we do? Like, isn't it obvious? Run. Roops Rory. Oh, that was close. Daphne's getting fed up. Just give back the opal. She grabs it from Catwoman. Hey, that's not yours. It's not yours either. So maybe it's time to send it back where it belongs, and she just gives it to the ghost. But the ghostie says thank you. That's all I wanted. Well, almost all I wanted. The opal back, and can you guess? Can you guess who the ghostie is? Here's the reveal. And the bad guy's in jail. Batgirl. It's Batgirl. Of course it's Batgirl. That's what Harley's saying. She's the only one who didn't show up yet. And she was wearing my ghost costume too. No respect for personal property. That's rich coming from those villains. So she's like, I'm gonna wrap this up in a 3-step plan. She's got some liquid nitrogen pellets. They're very cold. That'll stop poison ivy. But then Catwoman gets back her thing. What? So then they have to chase her. But Harley's stuck there because her big mallet is stuck in the wall, which I thought was kind of... It's a blunt object. It must have been thrown pretty hard. Cracked in there. I think that was this part. She tripped. I think went into the wall. Here she comes after Catwoman. Here, kitty kitty. Back that pretty stone. But then Catwoman is tied up. Now where did... Wow. Hold that pose for a minute, Red. She's coming running with her mallet. She sees Red, the red hair of Batgirl. There's Velma, but she was strict. Okay, I will, but I can't promise anything for Batgirl. But you're, where's Batgirl? Right here. Yoink. And then a big pow. First thing in the morning, the opal of Osiris will be back where it belongs, safe and sound. It's beautiful. And expensive, don't forget. Expensive. Thanks for your help, Daphne. It was very brave of you to decoy Harley by pretending to be me. Fred's like, but how did you know it was Batgirl? And Daphne explains, she's not just a pretty face. She spotted a clue. When they first saw the ghost, the hand had black gloves like Catwoman. But the second time, the gloves were yellow. It was the only costume crusader with yellow gloves in Gotham. Batgirl. High five. We redheads have to stick together. Oh, really? How about me? Poison Ivy says, I think that red hair is the most popular girl hair color in comics. Well, it sure was lucky for us that Batgirl showed up when she did. I was kind of wondering that too. Luck had nothing to do with it. Then Velma explains that she had created a makeshift bat symbol by tying up the curtains, and then the light in the room shined up into the sky. Then Shaggy makes a joke. That makes sense, because when bad guys cross paths with us, it's like curtains for 'em, see? Groan. That does it. Next time I'm bust out, I'm going to Mr. J. At least his jokes are funny. The end. So, it's back to the big house for Harley Quinn and her friend Poison Ivy. And that was my Harley Quinn Scooby-Doo team-up book, comic book. I hope you enjoyed it.